Good morning, guys. This is if you can see I am a Villa fan. Now, this one talk is about Aston Villa and its history, because this month was its anniversary of 150 years of Aston Villa football team. And through its history, it's had its ups and downs, its successes, I haven't got my teeth in, successes and failures through its history. Now, in its Aston Villa started in 1874 on a cold morning that four gentlemen decided to, on the gas line, started to a football team, and they was met under the gas lamp on Hayfield Road to form the new club. That's Aston Villa. Now, the club's true leader was McGregor, the brains behind the forming of the Football League in 1888, drawing up a way that's near Villa Park. Gregory, called for to start a league for clubs in the Midlands and the North. Now, they started off 12 teams. Hold on, just 1 minute. Had me list of me teams, so that's... Now, the 12 original founder members was Aston Villa, West Brom, Wolverhampton, Everton, Stoke, Bolton, Accrington Stanley, Blackburn, Burnley, Derby County, Notts County. As you notice, there was no London teams, no Manchester teams, and Liverpool hadn't come on the scene because they was a breakaway. They broke away from Everton to set up Liverpool football team. So in the history, going back to the history of the Villa, Aston Villa has won the FA Cup 7 times. The last time they was in the final was I think it was 2000, when that was the last time they had the last match at the old Wembley against Chelsea, but we lost. Our successes, I will show one of the many t-shirts, is 1982, when a certain Peter With scored the goal for Aston Villa to win what is known the Champions League Cup. The successful manager was Ron Saunders, but he left for our rivals because he fell out with the club's directors. But the club kept the same team under Tony Barton, but went on to win Champions League, because the season before they won the first division. The history of the Villa is a long and varied history. They moved into their ground, what is now Villa Park, in 1897, where before they was renting a place for to play their games. P-Bar headquarters was taken on 3-year lease and rented for £7, 10 shillings, and for the first year, and raised to £15 and £20 for the subsequent year. Then they moved into Villa Park, where they have had been there for ever since. Now, Villa went through a bad start. section in the 80s, well, not the 80s, in the 60s, where they nearly went bankrupt. And the story what I heard on the grapevine, I don't know if it's true, that a certain two comedians were Fulham fans wanted to buy Villa. That was Mike and Bernie Winters, but that got thrown up out because they didn't think they was, serious, not really Villa fans, because they was Fulham supporters, and it would have seen the end. So the club was bought by someone else, and the success of the club. Now, one of the chairmans were Ron Saunders, who everybody knew him as Deadly Dog, because he was so ruthless. If you didn't get on with him, he got with you. That's what happened with. I don't know if that happened with Ron Saunders, why he left, because he fell out. But I don't know if Dog had moved before Villa had the success in the Champions League and then come back. The Aston Villa Football Club has won the FA Cup for 7 years. Well, they've won it 7 times. They've won the First Division Championship in quite a few years, being one of the founder members of the Football League, as I told you earlier, and one of the first teams to play in what is now known as the Premier League. Because when the original members, there was no big clubs like Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, Man City, Chelsea, or Arsenal around. They came in later. And if it wasn't for Aston Villa and those 12 clubs, history would have been written for the richest football league in the world that is known as the Premiership. Because in 1991-92, the First Division broke away from the Football League to set up the Premier League, which is the most successful league in the world, I do believe, with financially money coming in from all over the world and TV rights. That's what makes it so rich, so people watching it. As you can see, being a Villa fan, I've gone through quite a few shirts, well, collected shirts over the time, as I'm just showing you a few, as they changed, and the different names of their sponsors. It always, because Villa was always known as the Villains, as you can see on my t-shirt. And the shirts have changed over the years, especially that one, what was for the Champions League, what is known as the Champions League, when we won it, successful. And now we're back in the Champions League, doing quite well. We even played, the team we played in the final of the Champions League at Villa in 82 and beat Bayern Munich. And we beat them at a home ground. That was a night to remember. Our successes have continued with our new manager, Uno, I can't pronounce his name. But he, at the time he took over the club, excuse me, a few years, we was right down in the bottom, on the brink of relegation to the Championship. We had just not long come back from the Championship into the Premiership after relegation. But that is success is continuing now and he's building. Back to the 70s, as I regress, Villa went right down to the third division because they was going through a bad patch. And when Ron Saunders come along and took over the club, he brought the club some success and getting them back to what was known as the first division, but now known as the Premiership. The club's history is well known. A lot of clubs, because when they used to have the semi-finals for the FA Cup, they used to hold the semi-finals at certain grounds, and Aston Villa was one of the favourites. Quite a few teams loved playing at Villa Park because of the because of the atmosphere, and when they played their semi-finals, because Manchester United players loved Villa Park when in the semi-finals. Villa have plans to increase their ground. It needs doing because I think because there are gaps all round, and those gaps should be filled in to make it more better and stop the wind and that. But the squad we've got now is a real successful squad with the likes of Ollie Watkins, just to name a few, and one of the greatest goalie, Martinez, from the Argentina goalie. So Villa is known as a sleeping giant, and I hope the success continues to follow on the history of the Villa success through the years and that over the successive years and the downfalls and the up successes of Villa through its history. And as all Villa fans follow the Villa, we are known as villains, and we are true followers of Villas. The sign over the Holt End is the 12th man, because the Villa fans are like the 12th man. We've even got famous people who are Villa supporters. Prince of Wales, William, and he has been down Villa Park to watch Villa. Nigel Kennedy, the violinist, and the one who played the caretaker out of the Harry Potter films. I can't remember his name. He's a ardent Villa fan. The late poet, I forget it. I can't think of his name, but I expect someone would put his name in the comments. One of our biggest fans is Ozzy and Black Sabbath, because I noticed on one of the games in the Champions League they had on the bottom of the Villa shirts Black Sabbath, because there is a little video with an advertising the Villa with Ozzy saying, "I'm coming to play for Villa." Yeah, and that's a bit of fun. And our captain at the moment is John McGrath. Everybody knows his name. The man. Yeah, but I think this team is building on. We might not get success, but there is building blocks to build on and to succeed. And because last season we was in the Europa Conference League and we had a good run in that, getting to the semi-finals, but just losing out on that. But this season, with us ending in last season in the top 4, qualifying for the Champions League. And at the moment, we're having quite a good run. We've only lost one game out of the 5 at the moment, because the format has changed a bit to a league system. And then it will, after January, the top 8 will automatically qualify for the knockout stages, and hopefully all four English teams with the Villa will be automatically qualified. With the success of Villa and its Villa Park and its owners now, because we've got owners that are, funding the club and putting money into the ground, and the success is coming slowly but surely, because Villa has always had a good youth team, and it's always built on the youth team. And the problem with that, everybody come to buy our players because they are so good. Because one of our local lads, Jack Greenish, was snapped up by Man City, and he was a hardened Villa fan, a local lad. And this is my short little chat about my soccer team, what Americans call, or we call football team, and its 150 years anniversary, and another 150 years on, with more success in its history and more trophies, I hope, and more success to build on. So here I will say a fond farewell, and to all my Villa fans, let's keep on. And Hi-Ho Silver Lining is one of our songs where every Villa fans sing Aston Villa, and to our success and building on the success we are having at this season, I wish you all fond farewell and safe wherever you are in the world. And if you enjoy this little chat about Aston Villa and Villa Park, there is a couple of clips mentioning one of the greats, that was Gary Shaw, who passed away in early on this year, and they paid tribute to him in by winning that game against Bayern Munich that night, one of their first games in the Champions League, and they dedicated that to Gary Shaw and that in his memory. And in our luck will continue, and our success with the world's greatest goalie at Martinez, who's done some brilliant saves and that. And I wish everybody safe and well. And if you like this video, Walks and Talks, I hope you will subscribe, press the thumbs up, notification, and follow for more talks, walks, and other exciting things to come. And I will wish you farewell, goodbye.